So thanks everybody for participating. You're going to be kind of our beta test here for future hybrid events. So hopefully we'll have minimal technical difficulties. Our sponsor, Christian Rumscheid, is doing technical direction and it appears to be doing an amazing job for us so far. So we appreciate that. I think we're going to want to get started. It's 11:32. Well, once again, first of all, everybody, welcome to our December webinar. This is the WorkWell's final virtual lunch and learn of 2020. It's kind of amazing that this year is finally coming to an end, and we're so happy that you joined us today during the busy holiday season for this informative and I feel will be a very impactful presentation on how you can make your fortune in the follow-up. My name is William Hatfield. I am the operations manager of the WorkWell, and we also have potentially joining us at some point Miranda Stewart, who is our general manager, who will pop in and say hi and greet and welcome everybody. And so we will be co-hosting this seminar as well as our in-kind sponsor, Christian Rumscheid. Today's webinar, I'm really excited because we welcome back one of our most popular speakers, Amy Robinette. Amy spoke here in September 2018 and was one of our best attended events. And so we were so happy to have her back, and we were really happy that she agreed to be our first hybrid webinar speaker. So thank you so much, Amy. Amy's a pretty amazing woman. She is an author, entrepreneur, and founder of Women Helping Women to Network. She is also known as the gold buying girl and the goal getter. So a little bit more about Amy. As the gold buying girl, she had 150 women working for her throughout the United States and Canada as well. So she's international. And collectively, they bought over $15 million worth of gold, silver, and platinum. As the goal getter, Amy has received many top producer awards during her career in the professional staffing industry. And that is really where she sharpened her skills and came to believe in the fortune definitely is in the follow-up. Amy has, in 2014, Amy decided that she just was not getting what she wanted from the networking groups that she was attending. So she started her own. Women Helping Women to Network is the largest and fastest growing premier networking organization for women entrepreneurs in Texas and has over 400 members in Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio, and is now actually taking this organization to a national level by hosting virtual events. So she is definitely plugged in. Today's presentation, she will be showing us that the fortune really is in the follow-up. If you are not following up, then you're giving up and leaving potential income on the table. She has developed the close factor to teach others how to follow up and increase their bottom line. And Amy believes that there's enough abundance for everyone, and by building relationships, you will build your business. And later this year, she'll be launching her new book, which is going to be called There's Always a Plan B, and I'm sure she'll talk a little bit about that in her presentation. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, please post them to the chat box in your screen. And at the end of the presentation, I will be leading a Q&A, and Amy will also be taking questions from the audience virtually here on site. If we don't get your question, we will follow up with you via email with an answer. And also on that note, I will include links in the chat so you can connect with Amy via LinkedIn, her social media accounts, and also her website. And there's also going to be a link to the WorkWell's Facebook page so you guys can stay on top of our upcoming events, other webinars, and happenings here at the WorkWell. We are recording this session, and it will be posted to the WorkWell's website soon. So, with all that being said, I am so happy to introduce Amy Robinette.
Thank you. Yay. Thank you. I want to say hi to Rebecca Ingersoll, too. She's one of my friends, too. She's joining us from San Antonio. Thank you for being here, Rebecca. Anyway, I am Amy Robinette, CEO, founder of the Gold Line Girl and Women Helping Women to Network. Are you in the top 10%? 40% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. 25% of salespeople make a second contact and stop. Only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. Did you know that only 2% of sales are made on the first contact? 10% of the sales are made on the 4th contact. You'll make more sales by making more contacts. So you know what that means? That translates there's roughly maybe 10 in this room. So out of 10, what's 2% of 10? That's your prospect you have today making a sale in this room. Just an FYI. Do you make at least 5 contacts? 70% of salespeople only make 1 contact. 19% make 2, 7% make 3, 4% make 3%, and 5 make 1%. So only 1% make more than 5 contacts. You need to be part of that 1%. You need to follow up and make contact. 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. So follow up and don't give up. Do you ask for the order or ask for a referral? Those are top traits of successful salespeople. When I was in the staffing industry, I never left an office without asking that person I was meeting with if there was somebody else in that building that they could introduce me to, or could I get a name of somebody else? And always, if you make a sale on anything, I don't care what industry you're in, you need to ask for referrals. Who else do you think would be interested in this product? Who else do you think I could help? Can you give me an introduction? Don't be afraid to ask. Ask for the referrals. 91% of customers say they give referrals, and women are the best referral givers. We really are. I will shout you from the rooftop if you've done a good job for me, if I believe in you. And I think women are more apt to do that. And anyway, I love giving referrals. And that's a good way to build a relationship with the salesperson that you're working with. They'll probably give you more freebies or something for giving them a referral. Top producers say referrals are the key to their success. Only 10% of salespeople ask for these referrals. Referral systems are huge and can bring you lots of money in return. So don't forget to ask for your referral. I hear this a lot. I don't want to be too salesy. Is that even a word? Hello, you're in sales. You just need to ask. Be an asshole. Just be an asshole. I have a little sticker for you today to become an asshole. Ask for the sale, ask for the referral, just ask. One of my friends is in the room, Tara Bowling. She's sitting over here, and she's been with me when I ask for things, and I could just see her cringe sometimes. But 99% of the time, I get it, don't I, Tara? Because I'm an asshole. Okay. Do you have a sales funnel? An ideal pipeline? So here's an example of a pipeline and a sales funnel. When I was in staffing, this is what I lived by. I had a minimum of 100 prospects, and then I would weed them down into people who would actually bring me business. So on the next slide, is your sales funnel small? Then your results are going to be small. You have to have I know if you're a realtor, they have way more than 100 prospects that they're always constantly calling on. But if you have a small sales funnel, your results are going to be small. You need to know your ABCs. You need to have 3 categories of clients. Your A's are your highest level potential revenue. Your B's are the medium growth that probably give you sales every once in a while, or you need to stay in touch with. And the C's are the small salespeople or sales that you're going to make. But you still need to keep in touch with those people. Don't forget about them. Really don't. So know your ABCs. And if your ABCs are not working, get new ones. And quit trying to drag that horse across the finish line. If it ain't working, change it. I used to just change out that top 10 and go, I'm going to wait another 6 months or a year, and I'm going to come back to that. So change them out and go for another horse. Put your money on another horse. So you need to change your ABCs up all the time. You need to look at them weekly, monthly, 90 days, and decide what you need to do in your ABCs. Goals. This is a Zig Ziglar comment. If you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. We all have to set goals. And what I like to do is I like to see my goals. I like to have them up on a whiteboard or a wall in front of me or my vision board so I can see what's going on and how I'm making my progress and who I need to focus on. And if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. One of my favorite sayings. So do you want to land that big fish? You have to be willing to do what it takes. And that's about not giving up. It would take me sometimes a year to land a big client, but I never gave up. And then I will tell you this, someone I worked for at one time would ask these people, these clients that I've done business with, and they'd say, he'd ask them, why did you do business with Amy? And go, because she never stops. She never stops calling and asking. So don't give up. Out of sight, out of mind. You meet prospective clients, you need to follow up periodically. I like 30, 60, 90, but in between you might like, oh, when you get that sales brief from somebody, you might need to follow up in a week or 10 days. Ask them, when is a good time to follow up? When can I get back with you? Give them an open-ended question so they can answer and you can get back with them and keep track of that. Out of sight, out of mind. I truly, truly believe that. So you need to stay on their radar. Okay, here's my success follow-up story. It all came through because I never gave up. I didn't stalk, I didn't pester, I made meaningful, tactical outreaches. One of the things I used to do years ago, and it's kind of old school, but it still works now. We have some people in our group that are promotional products people, and they say that the biggest gift that clients like to get are edibles, cookies, popcorn, candy, things like that. I used to, why are you shaking your head now?
It's just hilarious. People are in the sales process with their stomach, not always.
Yeah. I used to call this company as an engineering group, and I didn't have an appointment. I walked to the reception stand and I go, tell them that Amy's here with a box of kolaches, and they would fly out the side of the trust me. So I used to get cookies in the shape of shoes and feet or hand, or shoes and feet, and I'd write a little note. I'd already have them done. I'd say, I'm just trying to get my foot in the door. Will you just give me 10 or 15 minutes? And I'd call those people up and I'd get the appointment. Now, let me tell you something. I know it's a little bit different nowadays with what's going on. You know, they have those boxes. If it fits, it ships. If that client's big enough for you, you can send some cookies in a little box with a note. And let me tell you what, that will impress that client. So there's always something else that you can do. But that's always the most welcome thing that potential clients want to get. And it sets you apart. They remember food. Here's another way that I follow up. I love to do this. I've made these visuals here. These are all pictures, and I did them all on my phone with an app called WordSwag. And when you follow up with customers, a lot of times you're able to get their cell phone content. And I send these pictures because 90% of these, a text message with a picture will be read within 3 minutes. I know I'm the same way. If somebody sends me a text, and there's just text and they're not in my contacts and I don't know who they are, I don't respond to it. I tell them stop or tell them go away or just ignore it. But if you send a picture, especially a picture of your face, if you go to a networking event and say, hey, nice to meet you, remember me, let's get together for coffee, a virtual coffee or something like that. So these are good visuals to use. And how do I know this works? Because I was top producer. That's me years ago. Lovely hairdo. I used to get it permed, not anymore. Anyway, I worked for 2 of the biggest staffing agencies here in Houston, and I was always hungry. I was one of the top producer awards, and I loved it. That's where I learned all of this, and I had more fun in that business. But it kind of rolled over into what I do now, and how I live my life, and what I do in moving my sales forward. Okay, here's a must read. Jeff Canfield. He's America's #1 selling success coach. And if you haven't read this book, The Success Principles, it's really, really a good book. He gives you examples of how these people were persistent and never gave up and how they got their goals. He's big into visualization, but also he talks about your network, the importance of your network. And that's why I started my networking group, Women Helping Women to Network, because I wasn't getting what I wanted from the groups I was attending. I don't believe in industry specific. There's enough abundance for everyone, and people are going to do business with people that they know, like, and trust. Networking, show up early, stay late, do your best. 90% success in life is following up. So if you meet somebody at an event and you think they need your service or if they feel interested in you, follow up. Don't be scared. Be an asshole, okay? An asshole. You need to have a process. A repeatable sales process gives a salesperson consistency in winning and closing deals. I truly believe in that. You have to track this. I'll track your progress. And there is a whole sales cycle that we're going to talk about. Here it is, the seven-step process. Number 1 is identifying your potential clients. I want to say something here. Not everybody is your client, okay? They are not. I asked a woman one time at a networking event that, so skincare products. I said, well, who's your ideal client? And she said, anyone with skin. I'm like, no, it's not. You have to hone down on what that pain point is with that client, or if you say something to them and you think a light bulb went off in their head that they get what you're saying, then that's a potential client for you. The free approach, learn as much about them, build a relationship. I'm huge on that. Build relationships first. Present your product and the benefits. What's in it for them? What's going to make their life easier and their life better? And be able to handle rejections and objection. And to me, no means not now. It means, later. And sometimes people don't buy a product right away, but they keep seeing you places and maybe hear somebody that says, oh, I got great results, or Brad gave me some great closet cleaning tips, and it just eventually will rub off on people sometimes. And then closing, you've got to ask for that order. And after you close, it's not get it and forget it. When it's over with, follow up with them. Follow up and say, how did you like the product? How did you like our service? Is that working for you? If something's not right, try and make it better for them. It's always good, even if you have a problem, to face it head on and handle it, because those people like that, like being taken care of. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a story. That's my dog, Honey. She's a rescue dog. She just turned 12 this month. And if I had not have followed up, we would not have Honey. We went on a Sunday afternoon looking at rescue dogs. My husband had looked online and found all the perfect dogs. And Terry, you know what the perfect dog is. She has Aussies. And anyway, so we were looking for the perfect dog. We went to Magnolia, we went to Congo, we went to the gallery, we went everywhere. And finally, at the end of the day, I said, Hal, did you see a dog you liked? He said, yeah, I saw that one dog in Highland Village, but it's too late to call. I said, it's only 7:30. I said, I'll call. It was a Sunday night. So I called the rescue group and the lady answered. And then as she was talking to me, the foster family beeped in. And she said, she got back on the line, she said, oh, that's a foster family. They want to keep the dog. And my heart sank. She said, no, but you called first, you get the dog. So that's how we have Honey. If I would not have followed up, we would not have Honey. And her birthday is this month. She's 12 years old. That is why I created a course called the Close Factor. You are leaving money on the table because you're not following up with prospects, or you may not be following up with them in a process in a timely fashion. So what will you learn in the Close Factor? You'll learn mindset and listening. You really need to pay attention to what your client is telling you and not what you can give them. You have to understand what they really want. You have to understand the sales process and the importance of being authentic. Don't come on too strong. Their authenticity means a lot. That's how you make those connections and you build those relationships. The Close Factor is for you if you want to grow your business, if you want to sell smarter, and if you need a good sales process. The impact of not having the Close Factor is that you leave money on the table, you won't grow your business, and you'll lose interest in your business. And I've seen this happen before in my networking groups. I see sometimes when I see them the second or third time and they don't have the passion in their voice anymore, I can tell they've lost interest. And to me, that's because they're not making sales. Mm-hmm. So you need to have this process in place to help you close sales. What you'll get from the Close Factor, this is a virtual course, a workbook, and a study guide, a bonus module on how to build your sales funnel. And this is all part of this course, and you can actually do it at your leisure. There's no timeline to do it. You can actually do it in less than 4 weeks. I have a special offer today for anyone that's interested. It's only $27, and I'll follow up with you because I'm an asshole. Anyway, I want to thank you all for your time today. If you have any questions, William's going to tell me if they're in the chat, or he might be able to unmute you.
Actually, yeah, so thank you for the presentation, Amy. So really we've got quite a bit of time here. We got about 25 minutes for general discussion and Q&A. Maybe people that have relationships with Amy right now can talk a little bit about how that relationship has helped their business grow and what they've taken from the fortune and the follow-up and some of the tips that she has provided previously. And maybe if some of you are involved in the Women Helping Women to Network group, you can talk a little bit about what your experience has been there. So we're going to kind of open it up to the entire group here. I do have a couple of questions that I wanted to ask, and I guess I'll start with the Q&A.
People on Zoom can be a little bit shy.
Yeah, they can. They can. So I'm going to start off with a couple of questions here. So I know every industry and every sales cycle is a little bit different, but is there sort of a best practice time frame or, you know, a scheduled kind of drip follow-up campaign time frame that you would recommend that could work in a general sales?
You know, it's different in person than it is online, because I know I also do email drips for my campaigns, but when you're doing sales in person, I would like maybe a couple days before you follow up with in person, within 2 days, within 48 hours, definitely follow up. That's when you ask the open-ended question next. When's another good time for me to get back with you? And when do you have some time to look at this or to talk again? And then let them answer that question. And then keep going. Like, okay, they might say, well, another month. Well, then put them on your calendar to call in 30 days. You know, some of you may have sales systems, like you may have Salesforce or some other, like Trello, that can help you track things that you can use to, as a follow-up tool. I'm old school, I write it all down. I like to look at it. And I like to, you know, make sure that I know who I need to contact every week, who I need to follow up with every week.
Very good. Very good.
Can I ask one?
Yeah, we have an on-site question from our sponsor, Christian.
Do you think that people are friendlier in the morning or post-lunch? When do you go for the ask?
The ask? Well, that's a great question. I know. I'll tell you what, when I used to start my sales day, especially the beginning of the week, I would plan my week and maybe start making calls for appointments Monday afternoon.
Okay.
And then the rest of the next day, Tuesday, I'd start hitting Tuesday morning.
Okay.
But not first thing in the morning, my opinion, not first thing in the morning on Mondays. Just get, you know, everybody's trying to get organized, start their day. Maybe they're having a bad day. Just leave it maybe to the afternoon, then hit them hard on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Leave them alone on Fridays, okay?
Excellent. A couple of questions from our audience via chat. They seem to like the idea of what the close factor course is. They'd like to know what is included. What does the course consist of, and what do you get with that $27 offer, and how long is that, what is included in the special offer of $27?
Well, it walks you through the sales process. It's 7 modules that are very easy to follow, and it tells you the sales process and how to set it up and how to set up your funnel. So each one is narrated by me. You'll hear me as I walk you through it. It's not just a course you look at and it's all text. I'm there talking to you and help you in the module. If you have any problem figuring out a module, you can always reach out to me. I'll gladly help you. But the bonus module is some extra worksheets that will show you. It will just be printed out so you can see how to look at your top 10 clients, look at your A, B, and C, and know how to do it, and just set it up that way. Because I'm really very visual, and I like to see that all the time. So it's some printable documents that you can take away with that. So that's basically what's included. It's a basic sales course to get you on the right track to start setting up your process, what you need in place.
And this is available on your website.
Where do you buy it at? You buy it on the website. AmyRobinette.com. Oh, AmyRobinette.com, yes, thank you. I have 2 websites. I have whw2n.com for my, for the networking group, and then I have my personal website. And I have my gold buying more website too, so I have 3 websites. I'm still buying gold.
We have a shout out to Amy from Christine. Is it Pizzuto?
Yes, my friend Christine.
Yes, you did it. Yes, I'm impressed. Hi, I just wanted to shout out to Amy about her follow-up. Is she? I had Amy. I had reached out to Amy, and she was a speaker on one of my summits, and she has reached out and followed up with me consistently, and that's why I'm here. So, yeah, and I'm so glad you did. Right? It was never a feeling of you ever, you know. And that's just something that, you know, I think we can get caught up in is, you know, my bothering somebody. And I was just, you know, always so grateful and welcome. And, you know, I was like, thanks for, you know, catching up with me if we get busy. And so I'm really happy that you did. So yes, follow up is it's really good. So thank you for that. Yeah.
Christine is a new member, and in the last 30, 40 days, I probably had 11 new virtual members join. So I sat down and I used one of my visuals, my graphics that I made, and I called them. Then I sent them that graphic and said, hey, I just tried to call up with you. Every one of them has called me back or texted me and said, okay, I'm sorry I wasn't available. When is another time? But and the other reason I wanted to follow up with them, like when you sell a product, and this, I'm selling a service here, women helping women to network. I want to make sure that they are taking advantage of all their benefits. It's just like your product or your service. You want to make sure that they are getting full value. People appreciate that. That will speak volumes to them and probably lead to more business down the road and to, for referrals for you. So, always take care of your clients.
Yeah, I feel like it just creates a deeper relationship, a deeper connection. So I have to say, I'm so appreciative that you reached out. Yeah, so good.
I also sent a card and wrote a little, I wrote my name, Amy. But at least I sent it.
Great.
All right. Do we have any on-site questions? I have a couple more questions that I always try to have. Any of you guys have any questions?
I'm just absorbing it, taking it in.
So, obviously sales is gender neutral in a lot of ways, but I'm sure there are different approaches to men versus an approach to a woman. So could you maybe talk a little bit about the differences? Because I know in your career, you have had both men as your clients and your prospects, and you've had women. So talk to us a little bit about the differences in those approaches.
Well, I think men are more mechanical. They want to know how things work, where women want to be, they're fluffy, so that's how you have to approach them. I know when I'm explaining something, and here's another thing I want to make sure you understand how important your 30-second commercial is. So people need to know in the first 7 seconds what you really do before you end that commercial and what you have in it for them. So it's the same way when you're talking to somebody in a sales appointment. When I used to make appointments in person, and now we do them on Zoom or whatever, I make sure those calls don't go more than 30 minutes. People don't want to be over and over. You need to get to the point. I speak in bullet points. So I tell my husband, get to the quick here, but present it so it's laid out and they understand where you're coming from, what you have to offer, what's in it for them. And like I said, women are touchy-feely, men are more mechanical, so that's the way I would approach, that's how I approach my clients.
So would you say that the women focus more on the results of maybe what you're selling, or perhaps the end goal, or maybe they visualize that, versus the men who are more, what's the process, workflow, etc.? Would you lean that way?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
It's 12 o'clock.
It's 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock. Yeah, because right now you have a mix. You have actually 4 men in your audience here on site, and 2 women. I think our audience is mainly made up of ladies. And so I just want to make sure that as guys, kind of get into our meathead sometimes that there are different ways to approach the sales cycle. Do you recommend or have a percentage budget that you feel like should be devoted to sales and specifically follow-up efforts?
A budget?
Yeah, like do you have let's say your operating budget, do you say, okay, I've set my operating budget for the year and I need to set aside a certain percentage that should be devoted just to sales, and maybe even a sub percentage that should be devoted to just the follow-up?
Okay, so that's
your lunches, your coffees, your cookies.
Oh, well, it's different now, but when I was in sales, I had lunches, hitting the streets, I was out in front of people all the time. I had at least 12 appointments a week. I had a lunch every day. And now we do virtual coffees, or we, it's just different. I think as we do more virtual stuff, you can still send, I got a nice little gift in the mail yesterday from somebody. It was a pleasant surprise. You can send like, hey, I missed you, $5 Starbucks card, wish we could have had coffee, but here, buy yourself a cup. Just people remember that stuff. It's the little things.
Excellent.
If you had a lunch every day, how did you keep from getting fluffy? What did you do?
I don't know.
Push-ups between meetings?
Like to aerobics?
Rebecca is interested in finding out how you can sign up, I believe, for the Close Factor.
The Close Factor is on my website, amyrobinette.com.
You'll send that out, right, Lynn?
Yeah, and you see, Rebecca, that's also the chat box, so you can copy the link directly from there.
You can go in there and sign up for that. Wait till this afternoon, please, and the reason I say that is I need to go in with my webmaster and make sure that she has it available, because I think I had a different pricing in there, and I want to give, this is a special pricing for today. This course is usually much higher, but for everybody that attended today and is here in person. So as soon as I'm done, I'm going to text her or call her, because I don't want you to think, oh, big switch.
That's not part of your follow-up strategy, is the bait and switch.
No.
Okay.
But I'm going to give every one of you today a sticker that says, I'm an asshole. And here you go, William.
All right.
Oh, yay.
I love it. I'm gonna pass those.
I'm going to pass those around. That is awesome.
Become an asshole.
Thank you so much.
Well, we have a couple more. Normally our webinars go an hour, but I mean, we have really packed everything in here in about 33 minutes. So I'd like to open it up for any last questions. We had somebody who entered for just a few moments, and looks like she had dropped out on us. So I guess the final question that I have is kind of rhetorical, but it kind of goes back to being an asshole here. Amy, what is the answer to every unasked question?
To every unasked question?
The answer to every unasked question.
Oh, William's been philosophizing.
Yeah.
I don't know. What is it, William?
No, the answer to every unasked question is no. It's always going to be no. Did you never
Oh,
ask
you don't
it?
ask.
Oh.
So every unasked question, so you've got to be the asshole, because
Yes.
if you don't, the answer will always be no. So, you know, you're going to steal that one from me, right?
Yes, I
There you go.
Slide
There you go.
Honestly, don't be afraid of no. No just means not today, not, not now, whatever. Don't let no scare you.
I think a lot of people hear no and they think that's the end of the line. I mean, the cycle's over. There's no opportunity, not only today, but beyond. So
I think the real end of the line is the restraining order, right?
exactly.
That's really when it
That's
stops.
the limit.
That's the limit,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm not dragging this out, but that's actually a really good topic. I mean, what are some of the things to get past that no barrier that you can do?
Well, it's always about staying in touch. And no means not now. It can mean, let's say something in 90 days. Let's say a client here said no to you. In that 90 days, something could have changed in that client. That position, that person could be gone. That person, or they're buying a service or something from you, whatever. Things can change in 90 days. And say, I'm just touching base with you, I'm coming back. Maybe their supplier left, or they don't have an alternative. What they had, they need something else. Trust me, there's always a good time to call somebody back and follow up.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and we do have another in-person question from Sarah Goldman.
Yeah, so oftentimes people who are in like sales mode, right? Because a lot of us are multifunctional. So when you're in sales mode and you feel like you're doing all the things, and maybe you're doing your follow-ups, you've got your notebook or your list and you're doing it and you're just not getting the traction you want, what are some things that people can do to like change their mindset to be more positive so they don't get down on themselves?
Well, look back at your successes and what you do have. I never got discouraged. I just always saw the light at the end of the tunnel. If you believe in what you're doing, you believe in your product. No just means not now. But nowadays, mindset's a big thing. There's always some speaker out there or something online you can find where people will coach you on mindset and, uplift you. Even like affirmations. I love affirmations and visualizing, it's very important. I think it's helpful for your well-being so you don't get discouraged. What is the power hour? People, are you familiar with the power hour? William just turned his head and snapped too. The power hour is a lot of successful coaches who talk about the power hour. It's usually 30 minutes of exercise. 20 minutes of exercise, 20 minutes of affirmations or meditation, and 20 minutes of reading something educational. And you do it in the first hour that you wake up in the morning to get you started. I just recently did an abundance challenge with Jack Canfield and a big group of people. And I did this for 30 days. I got up every morning. I had my gratitude journal on my nightstand. I listened to a prompt by Bob Proctor, who's another major success coach. And that was 20 minutes. And then I did my gratitude journal. And I want to tell you something. It changed a lot of things for me in that 30 days. A lot of things came to fruition. A lot of things I thought I wanted, I didn't really need. It changed it. But gratitude journal is huge. Be thankful for the successes you have in life. And don't let the nose in something that didn't happen go wrong. Like I had something recently, I won't go into it, and I kind of got discouraged and something else happened and I was happier. I was happier it turned out this way rather than working. But I will tell you, this gratitude journal I had to do, it was 10, you had to write 10 things every day. Now sometimes it's hard to write 10 things, but they could be really small or really big up to really small. So I was doing all the major ones. I'm thankful. Tara, you're in there. I'm thankful for Tara. I'm thankful for, certain things. And then one of the things I wrote was, I'm thankful for that banana on the counter because I don't have to make breakfast. But I really was thankful for that banana. So think about it.
Awesome. Yeah, in fact, Christine gives you a shout out. She says she loves that. It focuses on your success and trains your brain.
Yeah, it does. And Christine is a success coach also, so I'm sure she practices some of that, train your brain, right?
Absolutely. Imperative. Yeah.
I know we're, any more questions?
Yeah, the audience, do we have any more questions? Anybody here on site have anything else? We're gonna kind of start the wrap up part of the presentation. Awesome. Oh, we did.
Hi, my name is Jenny.
James, raise your hand.
No, I'm sorry. Good morning. I know I hate, when I get into Zoom calls and I don't show myself, and I used to teach classes where I don't see who's there, so I try to show my face if I'm presentable. But thank you for this. I actually connected through a friend who's been talking about this for many years to me, or I don't know, it seems like it. But you're right about, the follow-up, it being, it's about the timing. Sometimes the timing is not right to engage about certain things. And then, I've just found a space where I was just ready to engage and, and meet up with her just this week. Although we meet up on other things, but go on through specifically through, Women Helping Women Network. So you're right about that, the timing about it, just being persistent and just being also quite patient and, about the moment. So I found this really helpful. So thank you. I just want to say that.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for saying that. Thank you very much. Timing, like you said, is important, but if you keep putting it off, you can kind of, that's the wrong time when you keep putting it off. But then again, there's some people, and I had to coach a girl one time, a woman, she was just like, right on it, I don't like the salespeople who are right on top of you all the time. Calm down. Okay, don't hurt me.
Right.
Just, take it. Don't be so anxious. You can get that sale, but be prompt, provide information, provide a solution.
Perfect. All right. Well, listen, I think we're going to close our presentation, our event here. Thanks to everybody for participating. This has been great. And I have actually a little canned thing here I'm going to read. So, it really, so many times when somebody asks you if you are in sales as part of your job, I think most people say no, if they don't actually work for the sales department. The truth is that everyone is in sales, whether it is sales for the company you work for or kind of when you're selling yourself just to people that you meet out and about in your everyday life. So knowing how and when to recognize opportunities to sell something is important, but I think what is just as important is the ability to take full advantage of the opportunities that you have. And the tips that Amy has shared with us today, I think gives us a really great opportunity to really close those opportunities and find your fortune in the follow-up. So thank you so much for that. This is going to wrap up today's virtual lunch and learn. As a quick reminder, if you joined late or you haven't already looked in the chat box, I have reposted links to Amy's websites and various ways to connect with her, so you can sign up for her closing factor and take advantage of today's special. There's also the link to the WorkWell's Facebook page on our website, so you can keep up to date with all of our future events. And a real quick shout out, we had just started the marketing for our January 2021 event, and it's actually going to feature somebody who's in this room. So Tara, if you want to wave, because the people can see you. Tara Bowman is going to be leading a group on creating your goals and sort of your vision for 2021. I think right now, a lot of people are kind of focused on getting through 2020, surviving this, getting through the holidays. But before you know it, it will be 2021. It will be the new year, and a chance to kind of reset, set your goals, set your vision. And that is what we're going to be focusing in on in January. So Wednesday, January the 27th, still going to determine if it's going to be a virtual only or a hybrid. But it will be a webinar that we hope you will take advantage of, and we will be marketing that through various avenues here very shortly. So please, hopefully you guys can join us for that. And we will have the recording of this session on our website here probably within the next 7 days. Amy, thank you.
Can I give a shout out?
Absolutely.
Okay. This is the second time I've presented at the Work Well, and I want to tell you, I worked from home even before COVID and all this started. And when I started my own agency, temporary staffing, and I quit working for corporate and went out on my own, I actually worked out of my bedroom. And one of the things, you have to, for your own mental health, you need to get out of that. You need to get out and go out. So the Work Well is a great alternative. They have these little workspaces here. You can get a small office, and just to be around other people in the synergy, it kind of, I can see everyone shaking their head. And it's a cool place, free coffee, all kinds of cool stuff here. But I highly recommend, because for your mental sanity, and we need that. We need that as human beings.
Yeah, well, because I guess this is the only thing that I'll say since I've been here. This is what I've come to understand. This whole COVID-19 has put us in sardine cans, unfortunately. And I told my wife, I said, look, I have to get out. She says, why are you always going to the office? Listen, I have to get away from the house, because at the house, there's a dog, there's the kids, there's the great, there's you, there's the TV, there's the bedroom, distractions. I need to be away from this so that I can mentally focus on what I need to do and then come back to the house, because, cabin fever sets in, people are starting to get mad at one another, there's attitudes and frustration. Let me get out.
Yeah.
From my own mental state.
Yeah, you need it.
Yeah.
Believe me, you need it. So yeah, I wanted to give that shout out to the Work Well.
Well, I appreciate that. I guess I should be the asshole here and let people know that, in addition to our memberships, we do also offer day pass use for our private offices, day pass use for our co-working space. You can rent our meeting rooms, our boardrooms on an hourly basis. We have a podcast booth. So if podcasting is part of your marketing efforts, we have a really great podcast booth that you can create content in. So we offer a wide range of services to entrepreneurs, growing business owners, small business owners, anybody that's just looking for a place to land in a very productive and distinctive work environment. That is what we hope to offer here at the Work Well. So thank you for that shout out. Can you hear us okay audio wise? We had a couple of comments saying the audio was cutting out for a few moments. It looks like giving some head nods. Okay, very good. So that's going to do it for today. Amy, thank you again. I hope everybody has an awesome holiday season, a safe, successful, and bright 2021. And we will see you guys again soon. Thank you for your participation today. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Good to see you.